So talking about the nodes, and somebody had asked me about their Mars-Mercury South Node conjunction on the midheaven. So now that in the previous part, like 2 videos back, I talked about my experience with the nodes. The South Node is typically where we feel comfortable, but kind of constrained by our own behavior, trapped by our own behavior, and trapped by our own thought patterns. And the North Node is like where we can remedy those places where we feel stuck, but it's going to be uncomfortable. The North Node is always going to be uncomfortable because it's what we don't feel safe. We feel very safe in the South Node because it's familiar, even though it's like kind of turned into like golden handcuffs to a certain extent, right? It's like where we feel kind of trapped, but we feel safe and comfortable there. So the North Node, we got to get uncomfy. And so the thing about having personal planets on the South Node is that it's going to be extra difficult to move from that South Node to that North Node in terms of like behavior, because the planets are active in the birth chart, and you need the planets like to live, basically. Like, especially if we're talking about Mars and Mercury. You need Mercury to think, you need Mars to like motivate yourself and take action. So it's kind of like when people talk about like being addicted to food versus being addicted to like an illegal drug, because like you can't live, like you still have to eat. So it makes it extra difficult to work with an addiction in that area, because it's like, okay, well, it's like if someone is like, well, I need a little bit of heroin, but I can't do too much, it's like that is way more difficult. So it's going to be more difficult to move from the South Node to the North Node in terms of our behavior. And also, and it's going to amplify that feeling of being like safe and familiar with the South Node. With the midheaven there, it's even more difficult because, right, if the midheaven represents our reputation and career, we're being called to let go of, I don't know exactly how to say this, like, it's like let go of your attachment to having those things, maybe, or your, maybe there, especially with Mars there, maybe there's a tendency to be a workaholic, right? So, okay, we'll talk about the midheaven more in one more